That's saying something.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point, but boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
The Rams take over 1st and 10.
So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a man who was undrafted out of Buffalo, standing at 6'7". It's Tyree Jackson.
Well, I know one thing in baseball, you want to have your closer, right, to finish off games. How about finishing off a season? Last week, week 16, he was the NFC Offensive Player of the Week as he looks forward to this one here to close out the year.
And, of course, he'll have the playoffs to look forward to. Already clinched a berth there, but indeed a great week 16. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Now Jackson. They'll get this one to Cup complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. They'll run this with Akers. And blocked down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Another throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Complete. Jefferson the target. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 12-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving. He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on 3rd down. It's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Cam Akers with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Rams take it right down and score on the opening drive. Is a long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter, that's when the knockout occurs.
It becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. The 49er offense about to go to work, and it's Jimmy Garoppolo, Charles, at quarterback.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman.
Number 26.
And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
49er first down.
Garoppolo on the draw to Coleman. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
He was brought down by David Long. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3. At the
31st carry for Raheem Mostert. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
49er ball carrier.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
2 yards on the
A couple of first downs, has the football position at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to give to Mostert. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45.
Mostert, the ball
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get...
Well, throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Brings up 2nd and 9. At the 32-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run out of the gun with Akers. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Cole Alexander. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
David Long.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Give him 9 on the play, and it's going to yield a new set of downs. After 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll run with Coleman on first down. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line.
Coleman, the ball.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
42-yard line. 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
On 2nd and 9. Garoppolo. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
A gain of 18 on the play.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10. Right at the 40. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman.
Tevin Coleman, the ball.
And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39.
A gain of a yard. Brings up.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
39-yard line.
On the draw play, Coleman. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Coleman, the 49.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Now Garoppolo lost the football. And the Rams have got it back.
The quarterback set. A fumble on the play.
Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it's
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Back deep, Isaiah McKenzie. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
42-yard.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out of the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. It is incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage. Well, that, my friend, I guess is is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there's a time to be aggressive. Now is it.
A heavy rush, and down he goes. Samson Abuka in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
7 yards.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And Samuel complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Garoppolo able to find Samuel there for a Niners first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Leonard Floyd, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their background. They were all county, all-state, and other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. Almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. Incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jackson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up on a former first-rounder, Jimmy Ward. And he'll take it all around near the 30-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Here's Coleman on the draw. And he is not going to go anywhere. We're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning.
A loss of a yard on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. Broken tackle. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to go again. Here's Cam Akers in the L.A. offense. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. Complete over the middle. That's McKenzie. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He was looking for Isaiah McKenzie that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Similar to a shooter in basketball, just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
Wide open receiver complete. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Now Jackson on 1st down to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Intended target was Cam Akers, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
You could tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. He'll throw complete to Cam Akers. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Again, Jackson. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, LA. Cam Akers with touchdown number 29. Too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. And he puts it through. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will make it into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. Now, looky there. He's getting close to 1,000. I'm sure he knows where he stands. I bet if the offensive line didn't know, he made sure they knew. I'm closing in, guys. Final week of the season.
You know who really informed the offensive line? The offensive line coach.
Okay.
Because it's a big deal for his unit as well to be able to say, hey, we escorted guys to 1,000 yards or more in a season, just like blocking for a 3,000-yard or 4,000-yard passer. So it's a lot of pride on the line, and his pride is paramount because he wants to be able to join that pantheon of guys that in the NFL ran for 1,000 yards or more in a season.
right on the line. I see what you did there.
You like that?
On first down, Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. So we have come due to time constraints. We move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Takes this about 5 yards deep, and he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they thought they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because you...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
They'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 19-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
We'll get this to Akers out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal. Jackson from the shotgun. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Intended for Kansas.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football. Knowing full well, he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
This will be caught at about the 5. Jackson. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Jackson will throw again. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Cam Akers Becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Rams add on to their lead.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will make it into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 18 yards, first down Niners.
A gain of 18
Really?
on the play.
Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a first down.
I was going to say on third down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just got to shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the first.
The 49ers
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 46-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo, and he hits his running back, Tevin Coleman. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
It's a gain of...
Well, look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
On first down, Coleman. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line.
2 yards.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9. Third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
At their own 18-yard line.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now a run with Akers. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Defensively, Jimmy Ward in on the stop.
At the 47-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8.
Play action. It's Jackson. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Man on the right sideline. It's McKenzie. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 22-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Rams out in front here. They've got control of the football as well as we get set for the 4th quarter. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
It's a gain of 9.
Charles, you said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Goal at the 8-yard line.
To throw again is Jackson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys.
And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Sloman for the extra point.
See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. This will make it into the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard
The 49ers offense making its way back out there. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. That catch good for only a couple. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Caught it up, and the Rams have got it back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And the division title, that's out of reach. We know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
Partner's not out of the question, especially with the 7 seeds that they have now in the playoffs. If you do win and the other wild card teams win in the first round, you could find yourself with a home game in the divisional round. Now, we know that's not likely, but it's not out of the question. Bottom line, you have to win to put yourself in that position.
They'll run on first down with Akers. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
23, Cam Akers, the ball carrier.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box.
And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will make it into the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Their own 25-yard line.
Out comes the Rams defense now as they get ready for the next possession. They recovered the fumble last time. 3 turnovers for them in this game. They've been, that word opportunistic comes to mind, right?
Exactly right. And you know guys on defense, they say the turnovers. Offensive guys call them turnovers. We call them takeaways. We go get them. And that's exactly what they've done in this game.
The former DB making sure you know their takeaways on the defense.
Takeaways, man.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6.
At the 29-yard line.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
First down, San Francisco.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. He'll drop this down to Coleman. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
It's a gain of 8.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space. It turned out to be a nice play for the offense. And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Garoppolo over the middle, complete to Tate. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 22-yard line. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. There's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
Incomplete.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. They showed Robinson. Too much to handle that time. Gets the sack.
6 yards.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Anytime that ball comes to me, I try to take it to the house.
So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
No gain on them.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete.
I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Looking for more on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Van Jefferson was the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
3rd down.
49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs
under pressure again, and down he goes again. Nick Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Going up top for Cup. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And it is caught. And they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that'll cut the lead down now to 22. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Set to go again. Here's Cam Akers in the LA offense. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They come out with a new resolve and renewed determination.
The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. We got position on him, and he pulls it in.
A gain of 24 yards.
First and 10 at the 11. So the L.A. Rams with a victory here, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one are thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together